Thanks for stopping by the channel. Hello, and welcome to WTF Mortgage. This is the mortgage rate update for the week of February 20th, 2024, brought to you by me. Let's jump right into it. This is the advertised rate in this column over here. You'll see lenders, banks, brokerages, when they are showing the rates. A lot of them don't show the rates, but when they are, they'll either show the rate on the left, what we call the advertised rate, and then right next to it on the right will be the APR. Sometimes they might show the rate on top and then the APR on the bottom, but most often you'll see the rate on the left, the APR on the right. They do not have to show the fees. Lenders are not required to show fees in their advertisements because the APR is a representation of fees associated with the advertised rate. The higher the APR is above the advertised rate indicates more and more fees associated with that rate. When the rate and APR are the same, that would indicate no fees associated with the advertised rate. That was a quick refresher. So how do you use this when you are shopping? When you go out there and you see a rate of 5.75 advertised, say tomorrow or later on today, if you see the APR is about the same as this APR, that means it has about this much in fees associated with that rate. And if you see an APR that's higher than this one, you know the fees associated with that are going to be higher. Same thing would be if you see an APR lower than this. So that's what you want to look and use this to compare. You see a 6.75 rate out there and the APR is higher than this. Well, then that means there are more fees than 3,972 associated with that advertised rate. So you can use this chart as a measuring stick there when you're out there. And over here, this is my famous or infamous WTF rating scale here. And made the word rate here so it's easy to remember. So if you see interest rate pricing that is lower than this, for example, if you see a 6.5 rate and the APR is like 6.2, a lot lower than this, then that's really aggressive pricing. That's indicating either that's a really, really good deal or they're kind of BSing on their advertising. They're using some bait and switch stuff. So down here, the a great deal. So I rate this pricing within the A category, a great deal. If you see a rate with the same APR, then that is some really good or great pricing. That's a good deal. Now, if you see, like say, a 6.5 rate and the APR, let's say, is 6.695 or something like that, or 6.7. Well, that's a little bit higher. That's still a fair deal. Still a fair deal. Okay, and if you see, for example, a rate of say 6.5 and the APR is like much higher than this, well then tell them to eat shit. So this pricing here, this is up quite a bit higher from last week. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that it's not going to drop down, but pricing is quite a bit higher. Let me close by showing you a comparison of the pricing from last week compared to this week. Okay, here we go. This is last week's pricing here. So you can see the 5.75 had an APR of 6.087, 12,474 in fees compared to the 15,155 in fees as of today on the 20th here. And then you can see the APR. Look at the difference in APR. So you see the fees went up almost a few $1,000 here or so, and look at the APR went from 6.087 to 6.162. Same thing if you check out like another one here, and I'm doing this to give you a better idea of how the APR works. So you see this one 6.75 with the APR 6.821. That's 2,527 in fees last week. The same thing. $3,972 in fees, so a little bit higher. And of course, you see the APR is a little bit higher. It went from 6.821 up to 6.862. So that's a nice comparison last week to this week. But who knows? We'll see. All because it drops down or goes up like this doesn't mean that that's indicative of what's going to happen the following week. Okay? So thanks for stopping by. That concludes the mortgage rate update for the week of February 20th, 2024. This is going to go in the playlist so you can compare from week to week or month to month or wherever. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you on the next one.